Hello everyone and welcome to a new series I'm starting called Dota Improved, where we take a look at a certain aspect of Dota and work on maximizing its efficiency. In this video, we'll be going over mastering roaming in 3 basic steps, so without further ado, let's get started. Now first we have to define what a roamer is. A roamer is someone who goes from lane to lane, generally as a position for support, trying to win those lanes and set up kills. The reason roaming is so powerful is because oftentimes which team wins early fights is determined by the number of heroes and less so by farm. But what exactly makes a good roamer? Well, first you have to know where to be when. Minimizing your time spent walking aimlessly around the map is a huge leap when trying to improve as a roamer. And there are only 2 questions you have to ask yourself when wanting to know where you have to be and when you have to be there. First off, what does your team need and when do they need it? Secondly, what does the enemy team want and when do they want it? Here, I'll give you an example. You've got a solo Spectre with no support in your safe lane who needs free farm to win you the game. Well, you might just want to consider abandoning your roaming for the first 2 minutes to secure a kill in a good lane. Now let's flip the script. The enemy team has the exact same Spectre. Well, you guessed it, bully her. Roam to her offlane to kill her, harass her out of her lane, deny her creeps. Then once your offlaner has secured good farm, feel free to repeat the questions. What does my team need and when? And what does the enemy team want and when? Sometimes you'll end up sniping courier, sometimes you'll babysit your mid, sometimes your offlane enchantress will go 0 and 7 by the 3-minute mark and ping you until the game is over. It's a different situation every single game, but if you ask yourself these questions at the beginning, you'll waste much less time wondering where you should be. Secondly, you'll need to sustain yourself. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a roamer harass mid for a minute or 2 before having to go back to base because they've already chewed up all their tangos and wasted all their clarities. In order to constantly put pressure on the lanes you want, you'll have to minimize your time spent going to the fountain. So consider buying extra tangos, bringing a few clarities, suiciding to neutrals between ganks, or buying a bottle. Tangos are better for harassing, clarities if you have a small mana pool relative to your spell costs, or bottle if you want to completely destroy that Storm Spirit stream opponent like Sumail. The end goal of the regen you start with or ship out is to minimize your time between lanes and fountain, thus ensuring that you don't fall behind. This last step, not unintentionally, is a combination of steps 1 and 2. If you're always in lane where you're harassing or killing, and you brought enough regen, then you'll have no problem securing easy levels and taking crucial objectives. The problems start when you forget to stay in lane and forget to take towers. With all this early game power, you forget that first and foremost, you are a support that won't scale as well as the enemies you're destroying right now. You've got to take their towers, you've got to ward their jungle, harass their carries, all while staying in lane and securing XP if you don't want to fall behind as a roamer. You're a water balloon. The more gold you get in the early game, the more you fill up. When you pop, all that gold floods into the carry's wallet. Oftentimes you can't prevent this, you just want to make sure that when it happens, you're so far ahead it doesn't even matter. And that's all there is to it. Using these 3 guidelines will give you a head start to improving your gameplay as a roaming support. If you liked any of these concepts that I mentioned in this video today, check out the last guide I made called How to Not Die in Dota 2. It goes over some of these things in a lot more detail. But if you did enjoy this video, then make sure to give it a like and subscribe for more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!